Working with the marginalized, those who are on the fringes of society is really what Diaconate is all about, and that is one of the areas I think where we truly can be of service. It's an area where, as deacons, we go in, and we're not psychologists, we're not psychiatrists. We go in, we are people who hopefully are able to listen, and to share our lives with them as well. You know, it's we have a story to tell, and they have a story to tell.
I can help you.
Hi, Bill Burns, visiting chaplain.
Come on in.
Thank you.
At the heart of Jesus' message was radical love and radical forgiveness. Week in, week out, the deacons take this message to people who are in real need.
Yeah, here we are again.
Why should we play musical chairs now?
Seems like that's right. We should really mess it up. So how things been going?
Good.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Everybody looks well. Yeah. So I thought maybe just throw it out to you guys, see what you'd maybe like to discuss today, or.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind discussing my concerns and my fears, anxieties around being released.
The deacon's primary role, we call it a ministry of presence or a ministry of compassion. Most men are doers. They're Mr. Fix-It. But if you consider a man as a deacon going into a prison, he's not going to fix much. Or going into a hospital, he's not going to fix much there. We often laugh and we say, you know, we don't raise the dead, we don't cure the sick, we don't free the prisoners. But we have to be present to the people in those communities. That's our role, the ministry of presence.
Deacons are catalysts. They are called to be catalysts. That's another function that deacons serve. They generate and lead lay people into ministry of service. They awaken and remind lay people of their baptismal call.
When people marry, they make a permanent commitment to a particular way of life. The deacon makes a commitment to a particular way of life, a role of caring for those who are not so fortunate.
The successful deacons are the ones who can recognize that they don't have all the answers and take that, accept it, and grow in that sense of mystery and recognizing that they're being used instruments of God, that they don't have the answers, but in ministry that they are the servants of the answer, which is God.
Almost all deacons are married men with children and sometimes grandchildren. At the center of every deacon's ministerial life is this family, especially his wife, whose cooperation and encouragement is a spiritual necessity. Together, deacon and wife share a new phase of their married life, often finding themselves closer and more in tune with each other than ever before.
Since I started the formation program, my wife Paulina and I has improved our relationship a lot. Our prayer life has improved. Our communication channels are more open, and we become more patient and accommodating to one another.
As the deacon gets into theology and advances in the journey towards ordination, it's very important for the deacon candidate wife to understand the burdens, the commitments, and the implications of ordination. And as a result, the program has at least Sunday afternoons devoted to the deacon wives, where they can share with wives of deacons that have been ordained for a number of years and get to know and discuss what are the implications of the commitment.
At the end of the program, I always have the deacon-to-be, a few days before his ordination, and his wife come to see me. And I always ask them, what did the program do for them? And inevitably, the wife will say, it's made him a better husband and a better father.
Hi, Albert. How did it go?
No, it was so bad. It's just a difficult night tonight. As I went through the Diaconate program, I And I started learning how to listen and how to get to be in touch with my emotions, with my feelings. Something which I've never learned before or never practiced before. My wife had always been telling me about this. As we went through the formation process, as I began to realize how much involved we were together and how much we were of help to one another, how much I needed her to be a part of this journey.
In the early church, deacons responded to the needs as identified by the bishops. In the contemporary world, the traditional ministries, visiting prisons, hospitals, senior homes, have continued. But together with their bishops, the deacons are identifying new ministries, such as the one involved with foreign sailors who arrive as strangers to Canadian ports.
What attracts me about the port ministry is the uniqueness of the ministry itself. Here you see people from different countries throughout the world coming over in a strange land. And I can relate well because when we came over to Canada, we were strangers in a foreign land and trying to adapt ourselves, not knowing whom to trust, not knowing whom to be with.
Wherever they minister, the deacons are acting on behalf of the servant Christ. As disciples of Christ, a deacon's ministry evolves in response to specific needs and his God-given talents. The process often involves a deacon's own personal development. It's a long way from the study of theology to its practice and relationship to people with great needs.
Many of the deacons that I talk to, who usually the fairly recently ordained ones, who are doing ministry, and we talk about how is it going, they often say that they don't even know who they are oftentimes. When they enter a sick room, they feel a change. And I think we can talk in terms of an ontological change having taken place at ordination, where they've taken on the person of Christ to do this specific ministry.
When I first came to Providence, I was scared. And I found it very hard to look at the residents. I found it very hard even to bring them communion. You'll find that there's a smell involved when you go into rooms. But again, I guess I put myself in that I'm there for Jesus, and this is the way I would care for them.
What you guys are sharing with me is tremendously helpful for me. I think back in the seminary, I'm studying a lot of theology, and there's a lot of study involved, and I'm using the mind a lot, although the focus is always on the heart. But what I found by contrast is when I do come through these doors, the residents here don't want to hear me teaching them theology. That's not what it's about.
But here, you find that people are so open and really let God take care of themselves and be honest with who they are. And that gives me, empower me to continue my ministry. The Spirit is.
Youth is a time of life filled with exploration and questions. Deacons serve in Christ's ministry to youth who are at risk, those who have been hurt by family violence, abuse, or personal difficulties. The deacon becomes a link in a chain of support which nurtures a young person toward self-esteem, creating relationships and memories that help them to make life-giving decisions.
So here's the card that he gave me. It says, "Dear Sir."
I'm involved as a chaplain in Sancta Maria House, a group home for abused girls. Sancta Maria House provides living skills for them, community living, budgeting, cooking, basically how to live independently, and it gives them a safe haven. My main function is literally to be a father to them, to be someone whom they can trust, someone with whom they can be accepted, and without judgment.
Christ's ministry of compassion to youth at risk includes support and guidance for young single women who are pregnant or who are already single mothers.
May her child grow in wisdom, age, and grace in your presence and before all your people.
Babies to me are so sacred. And I believe that the closest person I'm going to get to holiness in this world is a baby. And to see these young mothers, what they undergo, what they have to do, what they do for the children. Number one, to have them. And number two, to maintain them and maintain school. The determination. It's really, it's incredible. They will gradually come to know you as a friend. And then they will start to share some of the hurt with you. And when you start sharing hurt, that's when the healing starts.